Okay guys, so starting our brake job here on the driver's side. Already took our wheel off. I hit the guide pin bolts with some liquid wrench here. Already got the top bolt cracked loose. I'm about to get the bottom one cracked loose next. If my camera will focus there. Yeah, I'm gonna get that guy cracked loose and then we'll have our caliper off. This is a project truck, so I'm not going for perfection today. Right now we're just trying to make the truck as safe and reliable as possible. I did get myself a set of Akabono brake pads from Rock Auto. I trust these pads. I have them on my Ultima, and they're really quiet. Before that, putting these guys on my Ultima, I was battling brake dust and noise all the time, especially the noise. That's what I really got them for. But since having them on my Ultima, things have been relatively quiet, and I aim to keep it that way. I'm not changing the rotors. I'm pretty sure that they're beyond their service life. These kind of look like the OG or the OEM ones that came on a truck. But again, I'm just doing the pads today, just trying to save myself some funds. But I will be changing the rotors eventually on this truck, just not right now. Alright guys, so moreover, getting into the belly of the beast here. So I now have my caliper removed, and these guys couldn't wait to introduce themselves here. These are the backing plates for these pads that were on this truck. I mean, the pads themselves, you know, still got a little bit of brake pad material there, but I mean, things really needed to be changed. I'm glad I'm changing them. I got new hardware too, so I'm gonna be swapping that out also. But man, I didn't expect them to fall apart like that, but sure glad that we're getting in here, because these things, they are donezo. I mean, that's not very thick at all. It's like maybe a few centimeters. I wouldn't even say millimeters. I'll say centimeters left on these. Let me take off the old hardware here. Working with one hand at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and remove our old hardware from the caliper bracket. Yeah, we'll collect you here in a minute. Alright guys, so we went ahead and got as much of the corrosion off here as possible. We also went ahead and sprayed this with some brakes part cleaner, you know, just to get some of that crud off of the caliper bracket. Again, not going for perfection. And yeah, that grease that you see there, that's from the liquid wrench. CV boots are in great shape. Yeah, we just used our little wire brush here. It's the Harbor Freight Special. And then the brake parts cleaner. I got my brake grease. We have our hardware over here in our pads. Stainless steel, of course. Great job, Akabono, for giving us these pads with some stainless steel hardware. We already have our top brake hardware on the top of the caliper bracket here, and then we're going to put our bottom piece on like so. Set it into the appropriate groove and press in. You want to do that front and back. There. There, and it's in. Now, here's where we now begin to actually insert the brake pads. Now, you want to make sure that the noise indicator is pointed towards the bottom of the rotor. You also want to adhere some brake grease to the ears of the pad in this area, and then again at the bottom. A lot of people say just leave them dry. Some will even go as far as putting a thin layer of grease here as well. Personally, I'm not going to do that unless it does make noise, which I don't expect these to. On my Ultima, I just grease the ears and call it a day. And of course, the caliper slide pins. All right, so now we got our pads in. And now we just want to go ahead and pull our caliper slide pins or guide pins. I'm gonna get these guys re-lubricated. Still got a decent amount of lube on here, and surprisingly still moves in and out quite freely, but already here, so you might as well just go ahead and pull them out, get them cleaned out, and put them back in again. Come on out, fella. Don't be shy. Don't be shy now. There you go. Oh, this one is definitely dry, but all in all, they're in good shape. I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys cleaned up and lubed. You don't want to get too carried away with your grease, and even this is a little bit much, but you want to be somewhat liberal. Again, just a nice decent coating. Let's slide this guy back in his home. And of course, if there's any excess grease coming out, which this one I definitely did put a little too much. The other one was perfect. But you can just wipe off the excess grease. And confirm that it moves in and out freely. It does. Bottom 1, 2. Perfect. I'm gonna reset the caliper. Again, this is the dual piston setup. This is nothing. This is penetrating oil from the liquid wrench. I was hoping to bleed my brakes, but from the looks of things here, they will get bled, but I won't be doing them. I'm gonna get some replacement bleeder screws or valves, and I'm gonna pay my local mechanic shop. I believe they said it was $150. They'll bleed the front calipers and the rear drums. Also need a drum adjustment as well. But again, this is a bit of a project truck, so we're just fixing things as we go in, list of priority. Another thing to be mindful of, especially if this is your first time doing your own brake job, keep an eye on the brake fluid level here in the reservoir. And you also want to make sure that you uncap it to relieve the pressure. Now, this truck, when I got it, my level was just beneath the max mark. And as you can see, this is all a result of just recessing one caliper. So before I start the other side, I'm going to go ahead and siphon some of this out, and then go from there. Now, down below, we have our caliper back on. I did reset or recess the pistons, and now I'm just simply tightening up bolts here. Now, I've already done the top. Just gonna tighten this guy up here. And again, the process is exactly the same on the other side, just in reverse order. But you get the drift.